Good morning. It's so good to see you all, and I'm just going to start with a little tip of advice. When the temperature gets as cold as it is last night, do not leave your iPad in the car. So this morning, I'm using something much, much smaller because it's frozen. So just a little tip. So today, my topic is charting my course, and I feel like I don't even have to do it because between Dee's reading and the songs, I think we've already done it. But I'm going to do it anyway. Unity has 5 basic principles, and today we are going to go through principle 5. Through thoughts, words, and actions, we live the truth we know. Words are also seeds, and when dropped into the invisible spiritual substance, they grow and bring forth after their kind. Who do you think said that? Charles Fillmore, founder of Unity, with his wife Myrtle. Proverbs 16:9. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord prepares his steps. I like how my daughter-in-law says it. Man plans and God laughs. Because if you think about your life, we all have these plans that just don't quite always work out. Charting my course. How much time have I spent figuring out my life? What do I want to do? Where do I want to live? What are my dreams? Who should I be friends with? On and on and on. Always thinking about the future and what my life would or should look like and be. As I began to reflect and look at life, I realized that there is not that much I have control over. I can make a plan, yet so much goes into how that plan manifests, you know? Man plans, God laughs. However, what I can do is chart the course of my behavior and relationships. Do I want to be more like God or emulate a movie star? Do I want to spend most of my time thinking about how to acquire wealth or how to build better relationships to those who matter most to me, or humanity in general? Perhaps I could have a universal goal that I literally concentrate on no matter what, like doing something every day to assist the world in being just a little bit kinder, or doing something every day for a person, stranger, or someone I know. Basically, thinking about giving. Whatever it is, I do have power over that part of my course in life. So Dee said something that I thought was very profound, because years ago when I was studying to be a practitioner in religious science, Center for Spiritual Living, I used to have arguments with my minister all the time because she would say to me, Marlene, and in religious science, we have exactly the same 5-step prayer like in Unity, because all these people were taught by the same teacher, Emma Curtis Hopkins. But anyway, aside from that, she would always say to me, you pray for whatever they want. So one woman came to me to pray, she wanted a new vacuum cleaner. And in my head, I just went, I don't waste God's time praying for vacuum cleaners. It's just not going to happen. So I prayed for her higher good. And I was told by this minister, no, you never do that. You have to meet people where they are. And I said, yes, I have to meet people where they are and assist them in learning how to lift themselves to a higher place. So here's where the struggle comes in for me. I don't know if this is a struggle for you, but it has always been for me. So in the Lord's Prayer, the line that stands out to me, does anybody have a line that stands out the most? One line in that prayer, the hardest one of all. Anybody? Thy will be done. Thy will be done as long as you do it my way. Right? We say, thy will be done. Oh God, how could this happen to me? We all go through it because that's the part of humanity. But when we pray for these people, for ourselves, for our highest good, what we are saying is, God, you know more than I know. Because if I think my son shouldn't have passed away, then God was wrong. And I don't believe that to be true. But see, as human beings, we kind of develop, we plant our seeds. We kind of do it. We pray to God like God is Santa Claus. Dear Santa, I want A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Then when we don't get it, we go, God did not answer my prayer. But perhaps God did. Because there are lessons. And then in that song that you just sang, Daniel Nahmad's song, about the mystery, that what is my birth and death? What is this mystery of life? We don't get it, guys. We're not going to get it on this side. So maybe that's just where we need to trust. So when I started thinking about how I wanted to present this topic, I thought about something I did, and it's really not depressing. It's a very cool thing to do. When I was working in my practitioner's training, we had to write our own eulogy. And what I did was when I wrote it, I really wrote it for me. Because to be real honest, when I go on my next journey, I don't care what you think of me. I care what I think of me. Was I the best me that I could be, or at least did I try? Did I give it 100% try to be the best me that I could be while walking in human form? Did I try to be more like God? Did I try to spend more of my time thinking about God over stuff? I mean, think about it. Did you ever see a U-Haul follow a hearse? Never. All this stuff that people acquire, closets full and drawers full. Guys, all that's going to happen is your kids are going to get mad at you when they have to clean it out. Because that's what we spend so much time on. And I decided, for me, that has to change. I want to plant seeds that grow a garden of love, of peace, of joy. I just lost my talk too. It just disappeared. When we talk about what we do here, you've heard that saying, human beings versus human doings. Sometimes we get so caught up in the doing, we forget about just being. And one of the things that we were given as our birthright is the light. We are the light of the world. God uses us. There's a song that was sung in Agape. I don't know if you all have ever sung it. They sing it in all kinds of New Thought churches. Use Me, by Ricky Byers. Use me, oh God. Here I am. God needs us to shine its light, as me, as you. So we have an option. Do we want to go into a room and shine a light and make it a little brighter for all of the people in that room, or for one person in that room? Or do we want to be an energy sucker? Anybody met any of those? They walk in, even how they walk, and it's like immediately, uh-oh. And, do you ever have people that you don't want to say, how are you? There are people you don't want to say, how are you, because you don't want to go down there. So I just say, hi, because it's like, I feel like it's somewhat of work to move to that higher place. I call it moving to the penthouse. And I would rather be in the penthouse than down in the hole. And if you're around too many people, also, I'm going to throw this in because it's a really good example. Have any of you heard the author, I might have mentioned it the last time, that wrote the book, Let Them? Have you heard her on TV? Let me see hands of who's ever heard her. Okay. So I love what she says, let them, because I believe that, because years ago, someone else wrote a book in religious science, what you think of me is none of my business. And that's pretty much the same thing. So what does it mean to let them? John, I can't change you. If I could, maybe I would. Or maybe I wouldn't. But I can't. So I might as well just accept John as being John. And D as being D. And my husband, as difficult as it is sometimes, just being him. Because I do not have the power, nor do you, to change one single human being. Now, can we influence people? Yes, perhaps we can, just by the way we behave. I have a sister-in-law. This is from years ago. Every time I'd say, Carol, can you do me a favor? She goes, of course, it's my pleasure. And now when I do someone a favor, I go, it's my pleasure. And I learned that from her, and I liked it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to incorporate that into my being because it's nice, and it feels nice, and it does give me pleasure to do a favor for someone else. That's what I've realized. That's the other thing. The seeds that I've planted is I realize I get more pleasure by giving pleasure to someone else than by taking something for me. And boy, that's a trick, because so many times I hear people say, this is my time. I am just going to take care of me now. And I'm telling you, I swear, every time they say it, I think, and that's what you've been doing your whole life. Because you would never, people who love to give and be kind would never say anything like that. Because we know the truth. And the truth is, the more that we give, the more that we receive. And it comes from different places. It doesn't mean because I do Dee a favor that she's going to do it right back to me. But you might. Or somewhere down the road. Like, here's just a funny little story. I just told you that the other day. My mother had this Persian lamb coat with the mink collar, and my one daughter-in-law loves that coat. And so I said to her, I said, well, go ahead, keep it at your house. And then I said to her, why don't you just keep it? She goes, oh, I'll just keep it for you, and when you want to borrow it, you can. I said, no, just keep it. It's your coat. Several months later, I had a cousin call me, one of my favorite cousins. We've been friends since we've been little kids, and I loved her mother. And her mother was very, very tiny. And she said to me, would you like my mother's full-length black mink coat? She said, I can't think of anyone in the family who it would fit besides you, and I want to keep it in the family. Well, it's absolutely stunning, and it fits perfectly. And not only that, but she gave me a mink jacket also. And I just kind of chuckled, and I went, oh my gosh, isn't that strange? I gave away one thing out of love, and I told my daughter-in-law, I know my mother would be delighted that you are wearing that coat. And then 2 came along, and I know her mother would be delighted because we were very close. So this is how it works. We get what we plant. We do kind things. When you listen to people talk, don't always believe what they say. When you talk to someone and they go, oh, you don't get it, everyone picks on me. There was a woman that I know, she goes, I've lived in St. Louis for 10 years. It's such an unfriendly city. I hate it here. I don't have one friend. I thought, well, that's one reason you're sitting here talking to 5 people who've been born and bred in St. Louis and love it, because it's our home and she's telling us how much she hates it. Well, I kind of get it. You know, people don't like when you insult them, their homes, their whatever. And, you know, there were a lot of other behaviors too. And I think when I hear someone say everyone's picking on them, I think, what kind of seeds are they planting? So when I wrote my eulogy, I thought, now I have to carry it forward. How do I live my life so that I get the outcome that I want? And I started changing things about myself that I didn't like being too judgmental. You know, I don't know if any of you do that, but here's mine. If that were me, I would have done it this way. Well, you're not me, so you're going to do it your way, and that's okay. The one who's doing it is doing it right, because each of us is an individual. And then I had another argument with myself. So in the Lord's Prayer, it says, "Thy will be done." So let's say someone has a disease. Do I pray that God cures their disease? Or do I pray for their highest good? I am always now going to choose the highest good, because maybe their highest good is leaving the planet. Because I don't know the answers. So if I'm going to trust in my higher power, in the God of my understanding, I have to let God be the leader and I will be the follower. Because man plans and God laughs. But I don't think in a mean way. So I want to end it with my poem, Charting My Course. Every day I think about my life, what to do, today, tomorrow, next week or year. New thoughts come as I move through my day in large, swift movements. Sometimes they say, do this, do that, move out of state. Then I stop, listen, ask, what is my fate? Does it matter where I live, or is it about what I give? Does it matter what I perceive, or is it based on what I believe? Is it about the physical things or the thoughts of the spirit, what joy it brings? I have now begun to realize the joy that lives before my eyes, concentrating only on now, not worrying how tomorrow will be. I will see it soon enough. Just to simply know that I am here until I go to my final resting place. For now, I choose to live with grace, simply charting day by day, knowing Spirit guides my way. Would you play just a little meditation music? And now, I ask that you just get comfortable, whatever that feels like for you. Some may want to close their eyes or cross their legs or sit with their palms up. It doesn't matter. This is your time to just simply take a deep breath and breathe in all of the beauty, all of the sunshine, all of the gratitude for being in a warm place on a cold day. And to see yourself, not your small self, but your higher self. Imagine you are on an elevator and you are going up, 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 up until it is so high that as you look down upon the earth, you You can only see little tiny specks. Little specks that feel like you're not even sure that they really matter. Because where you are is so beautiful. It's so light and peaceful. There is only kindness and love and warmth, as though a warm blanket has been wrapped around you and you're enclosed in this beauty and this light and this warmth and this love. And you feel safe and at peace. And in this instance, you know that all is well. And it will always be well through eternity. Because you are God in action. There is a piece of God that lives within you, and God is birthless, deathless, and changeless. And as this is true for God, it is true for you. Can you feel the safety, the security, the warmth, the love, the joy, the peace, the overwhelming sense of just being, doing nothing, just simply being? So take this feeling of safety, love, and warmth and tuck it gently into your heart, knowing that it lives within you and breathes within you as you walk and breathe upon this earth. And now, as hard as it is, get back onto the elevator and come down into the seat upon which you are sitting, feeling the gratitude of knowing that you can go back there or stay there as you choose. You are the master of your soul. So now become aware of the beautiful music. Begin to wiggle your hands and your feet. Perhaps turn your head to the right or the left. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes and focus on something you did not notice before.